In the headlines, tension as police seal off PDP secretariat, halt Traki meeting. Protesters block Kwara Kogi highway after deadly church attack. Reps vow to block oil revenue leakages. And on the international scene, flood devastate Kenyan communities, over 7,000 displaced. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Idris Dayebaturi. Now, tension escalated at the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja on Wednesday after police officers sealed off the premises with barbed wire barricades, preventing the Turaki-led National Working Committee (NWC) from holding its postponed inaugural meeting. Operatives of the FCT Police Command's Rapid Deployment Barrier Unit mounted the barricades at the main entrance, abruptly shutting down activities at the party headquarters. The lockdown, which began Tuesday evening, left staff, party members and journalists stranded as armed officers secured all access points. The blockade marks the latest flashpoint in the PDP's widening leadership crisis, with many viewing the move as an attempt to disrupt or delay the Turaki faction's assumption of office. Police presence increased steadily throughout the day, with patrol vans circling Wuse Zone 5 in what appeared to be a coordinated show of force around the area. With entry still restricted, the party's leadership is expected to explore alternative arrangements as members await an official explanation for the security action. Now, the Vice President Kashim Shettima has arrived in Kebbi State to meet with the state government officials and families of schoolgirls abducted from Government Girls Secondary School Maga. The aircraft carrying Shettima landed at the Sir Ahmadu Bello International Airport in Kebbi. Shettima was accompanied by Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Zubaida Umar, and other government officials. Shettima, who had earlier departed Abuja for Kebbi on the directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is expected to convey Tinubu's message to the people of the state, as well as receive a briefing on the situation for onward communication to the president. Recall that the attack on the Kebbi school claimed the life of school's vice principal, Malam Hassan Makuku, who was reportedly killed while trying to prevent the bandit from taking the girls away. Meanwhile, the police said on Monday that a combined tactical team was deployed to comb the forest in a bid to rescue the girls. President Bola Tinubu has condemned the attack and commiserated with the families of those affected. He also postponed his scheduled trips to Johannesburg in South Africa and Luanda, Angola, to attend to the 20th G20 Summit of Leaders and the 7th AU-EU Summit, respectively. Now, aggrieved youth have blocked the Kwara Kogi highway following a deadly terrorist attack on the Christ Apostolic Church (CAC) in Eruku, Kwara State, which left members dead and several others abducted on Tuesday. The protesters mounted logs, planks, and tires across the road, leaving dozens of vehicles stranded. They are demanding immediate deployment of security personnel, improved intelligence gathering, and sustained military presence along the Kwara-Kogi border communities. Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak condemned the attack and assured the residents of the government commitment to securing lives and property. The federal government has also ordered the deployment of additional security operatives to the area. The incident has plunged the community into mourning and fear, with churches cancelling activities and residents avoiding movement after dusk. Now, soldiers have taken control of Eruku community in Ekiti local government area of Kwara State following Tuesday's deadly attack on worshippers at the Christ Apostolic Church, Oke Isegun, where 3 people were killed and several others abducted. Community spokesperson Yeni Olani Pekun confirmed the development, adding that the State Commissioner of Police, Ojo Adekimi, had also arrived in the community with a team of officers. He said rescue efforts were ongoing, although some local hunters who joined the search operation in nearby forests had not yet returned. Attempts to reach the CP Adekemi for official updates were unsuccessful as he did not respond to calls. A viral video of the attack showed armed bandits firing repeatedly inside the church as terrified worshippers, both young and old, scrambled for cover. The assailants were also seen chasing victims into smaller rooms and cutting away handbags left on the pews. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has postponed his scheduled trip to Johannesburg, South Africa and Luanda, Angola, following fresh security breaches in Kebbi and Kwara states. Tinubu was due to depart Abuja today for the 20th G20 summit and later attend the 7th AU-EU summit, but suspended the trip to await detailed security briefings on the abduction of schoolgirls in Kebbi and the attack on Christ Apostolic Church worshippers in Eruku, Kwara State. In response to a request from the Kwara State Governor, the President ordered the deployment of additional security personnel to Eruku and the entire Ekiti local government area, directing police to track down the bandits responsible for the church attack. According to the presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, Tinubu is awaiting report from Vice President Kashim Shettima, who visited Kebbi on his behalf, as well as update from the police and the Department of State Services on the Kwara incident. The president reaffirmed his directive to security agencies to do everything possible to rescue the 24 abducted Kebbi schoolgirls and ensure their safe return. Now, the chairman of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, Mohammed Bello Shehu, has assured Kogi State of full support in accessing its 13% derivation funds following its formal recognition as an oil-producing state. Shehu gave the assurance when he received Governor Ahmad Usman Ododo and a delegation from Kogi State at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. According to him, the Commission will ensure that Kogi receives all revenues due to it from oil, gas and solid minerals strictly in line with the law. The chairman also announced the establishment of a joint committee comprising RMAFC, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, and Kogi State to address all pending issues relating to derivation benefit and resource data. In his remarks, Governor Ododo lamented that despite Kogi's oil-producing status, the state has not been benefiting from its abundant mineral resources. He expressed optimism that the Commission's intervention will pave the way for the state to finally enjoy its rightful entitlements.
Your Excellency, you are most welcome, and we will continue to count on your support. And whatever issue you will table before us, we will try as much as possible with all our strength to see that Kogi State gets what it deserves.
When I got the news that this commission is in defeat, making sure they verify what genuinely belongs to this country in terms of our minerals, most especially oil and gas, making sure we have a full documentation of what belongs to this country, who are there, making sure that what belongs to us come back to us for the benefit of this nation. I never believed it, not until when I met with some of your teams. They told me your plan, and I said, if that is the case, meaning that Kogi is going to be one of the beneficiaries. And I want to thank you.
To Your Excellency, sir, I would like to most importantly thank my chairman and all the honorable commissioners and the secretariat for food and gas for all the effort they've given me. It's not easy to put Kogi State in the attribution map for food and federation account attribution. All my wonderful colleagues there, they gave me all the support, Your Excellency. I want you to know that at any point in time, anything to do, they give us all the necessary support. Thank you very much, and thank you very much.
Now, in the heart of Kano's Jakara community, the age-old Gurasa business continues to sustain not only bakeries, but also a network of small trades that thrive along its production chain. From young boys gathering straw to families firing up traditional ovens, The economy built around Kano's famous Gurasa remains as vibrant ever. Let's take a look.
11-year-old Hawa begins her day by buying 5 bundles of straw for 500 naira. She heads home where the straw is used to fuel the traditional oven known as tanderu. This oven is the essential heat source for baking the popular Kano Gurasa. Jakara Young Gurasa is a well-known hub for this local delicacy, attracting buyers from across the city and beyond. I am involved in the Gurasa business, which used to boom in the past. But these days, we can hardly make enough money to feed ourselves because of the high cost of living. Another offshoot is the Kara trade, the collection, cutting and selling of straw used as fuel for the ovens. We bring this Kara from Rimingadu local government. We buy it from farmers at about 1,500 naira per bale and supply the dealers here who mainly use it for Gurasa. Every day, trucks offload bales of straw which are sorted, cut and tied into small bundles. Much of the work is done by young boys who depend on this trade for their daily income. This is sold for 100 naira and it is our main source of income, which I use to buy my football wear and other things. At the center of the microeconomy are the Kara dealers who link suppliers directly to the bakers. This business has been profitable because from the farm down to this place, many people are involved and a lot of us depend on it. Although alternatives like firewood and charcoal are available and widely used in other places, Jakara's Gurasa producers continue to rely on Kara, describing it as cheaper, cleaner and more efficient for heating their ovens. This oven is used to make Gurasa and we use both firewood and straws. But the straws take half of the time that the firewood does, so they are cheaper. Most people who buy it mainly use it for Gurasa, which they can't make with charcoal or firewood. Even the leftover pieces are gathered by young children to take home. And as long as Gurasa remains a favorite for many, this circle of bakers, dealers and young straw gatherers will continue to preserve and uphold these traditional methods.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Reps vow to block oil revenue leakages. More news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Tension as police seal off PDP secretariat, halt Turaki meeting. And protesters block Kwara Kogi highway after deadly church attack. Now moving on to more stories. The Nigerian Navy has deployed 3 helicopters, 9 ships and several multi-purpose assault boats for special sea inspection aimed at demonstrating its combat readiness and capacity to protect the nation's economic assets. The operation, conducted by the Eastern Naval Command and codename X-Ding-Mingi, meaning safe waters in the Ibani language, was flagged off at NNS Sherry in Oni, River State, by the flag officer commanding Rear Admiral Chidozie Okehi. Okehi said the annual exercise reflects the Navy's core pillars of professionalism, operational readiness, and welfare and interagency collaboration. He noted that assets from the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, and the Navy, including an Epsilon EP-55 UAV, are participating in the 3-day drill themed protecting critical infrastructure through interagency collaboration. He added that previous editions have strengthened operational capacity and improved joint efforts among security agencies. The officer in Tactical Command, Rear Admiral K.O. Otungutuga, urged personnel to approach the exercise with professionalism in vigilance, stressing that every sea operation helps sharpen skills and enhance teamwork. Now, Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri has urged the first batch of 100 postgraduate scholarship students bound for Turkey to demonstrate discipline and dedication in order to make a positive impact. The governor gave the charge during the pre-departure orientation held at the banquet hall of the Government House, Yola. Trust TV's Gibson Soadigo has more.
These are the 100 postgraduate scholarship students from Adamawa State preparing for their academic journey to Turkey. Represented by his deputy, Kaleta Pofarauta, Governor Fintiri congratulated the beneficiaries and encouraged them to be good ambassadors of the state as they pursue their master's degrees abroad. He noted that the government has strong belief in the potential and future of the youth, adding that the scholarship program reflects its administration's commitment to investing in young people for a productive and fulfilling life.
I ask of you to be disciplined, because that will make a difference at the end of the day. You might be wondering that I'm going. It will take discipline to reach the end of the journey. And I hope at the end of the journey, and by the grace of God preserving your lives, I'm trusting God on behalf of the government and the governor, and as a mother, that we will see back 100 of you alive and strong.
Parents at the event expressed gratitude to the state government, while the executive director of the Adamawa State Scholarship Trust Fund, Joshua Kwanamo, commended the governor for his sustained contributions to the education sector. Kwanamo noted that these interventions have significantly raised the standard of education in the state. He added that the students' journey to Turkey will further contribute to Adamawa's overall development.
It is often said that any nation, state, or parent who invests in the education of their citizens has fulfilled the greatest responsibility required for building a prosperous society. Your administration has exemplified this truth and will remain faithful.
The 100 beneficiaries who fall under the Fintiri Win project were selected from across all the 21 local government areas of the state. Gibson Soadigo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Now, the House of Representatives Committee, Ad Hoc Committee probing pre-shipment inspection failures and non-remittance of crude oil proceeds has pledged to tackle long-standing revenue leakages in Nigeria's oil and non-oil export sectors. Committee Chairman Honorable Sheyi Soumi made the declaration at the opening of a capacity-building workshop for lawmakers in Abuja on Tuesday. He said Nigeria loses billions of dollars annually to unverified crude shipment under declarations and non-repatriation of export proceeds, depriving citizens of hospitals, schools, infrastructure, and opportunities. Shomi described the probe as a national mission, not a witch hunt, aimed at exposing systemic exploitation in crude and non-oil exports. The workshop is designed to equip lawmakers with technical expertise on export data, maritime operations, and financial intelligence, facilitated by experts in trade compliance, forensic auditing, and international oil transactions. Peter Anikwe cautioned committee members to expect resistance from vested interests opposed to transparency in oil revenues. Now, away from Nigeria, severe flooding in Kenya has displaced more than 7,000 people as rising waters from Lake Naivasha continue to overwhelm surrounding communities in Kihoto, Naivasha. Boat operators who once ferried tourists across the famed Rift Valley Lake are now evacuating residents from submerged homes. Local officials say the lake has expanded up to 1.5 kilometers inland and unprecedented reach leaving houses, churches, and even police stations underwater. In some homes, water is waist deep, sewage systems have collapsed, and children have been forced to flee schools on makeshift rifts. Hundreds of families have lost all their belongings. Joyce Chechi, head of disaster risk management for Nakuru County, said the floods have disrupted wildlife, threatened tourism, and halted business activities, including the flower industry, where workers fear cholera outbreaks and landslides. She added that no financial compensation has been provided yet, although evacuation and health measures are ongoing. Experts say the phenomenon is occurring across multiple Rift Valley lakes, while studies link the rising waters to climate-driven rainfall. Geologist John Lagat noted that tectonic shifts along the region's geological faults have sealed underground outflows, trapping water and contributing significantly to the floods. Now, the United Kingdom has urged West African and Sahelian countries to deepen regional security and political cooperation to confront the escalating threat of terrorism across the region. Speaking at a United Nations Security Council meeting, the UK's charge d'affaires to the UN, James Kariuki, expressed concern over the growing influence of Islamic State and Al-Qaeda affiliates and the devastating toll to civilians. Kariuki outlined 3 priority areas, beginning with enhanced regional collaboration. He noted that regionally led security initiatives, including plans for a standby force, the multinational joint task force, and ECOWAS counter-terrorism strategy are crucial in countering violent extremism. He also referenced Security Council Resolution 2719 as a tool to support AU-led peace operations. The UK further reaffirmed its backing for African-led security effort and cautioned regional government to choose security partners wisely to avoid worsening existing threats. Kariuki added that long-term success depends on addressing root causes of instability, including weak governance, poverty, disinformation, shrinking civic space, and climate-related pressures. West Africa and the Sahel have seen a surge in violent extremism over the past decade, with groups exploiting weak state presence and local grievances. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger remain among the hardest hit, suffering frequent attacks on civilians, security forces, and aid workers, resulting in mass displacement and thousands of deaths. And now in sports, Nigeria Premier Football League side Enyimba International FC has dismissed a report claiming the club has placed its players on half salary. Earlier on Tuesday, a section of the media alleged that the club's management had reduced players' wages following recent poor performances. The report suggested that the decision was part of a disciplinary response to the team's current form. However, the club's management has strongly denied the story, describing it as misleading and untrue. According to Enyimba, no such directive was issued, and the players continued to receive their full entitlement. The club urged the public to disregard the rumor and warned against the spread of false misinformation that could destabilize the team. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and also watch us live on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. My name is Idris Leje Bature, thanking you for being with us. Good evening.